it's interesting that our culture has become culture war. The culture war is our culture. What we are interested in talking about in mainstream television is shock content and hating each other. CNN. What is CNN's main goal? What has it been for 4 years? Complaining about Donald Trump. Trump is gone. Okay, let's try Tucker Carlson. And it was really funny. Frank Luntz, the famous pollster, tweeted at Brian Stelter when he tweeted this, maybe try covering the issues instead of some guy. And then Brian was like, maybe you should watch the full segment because no, dude, talk about the issues. I'm not interested in any of these individuals necessarily. I mean, sure, we can call out bad behavior when it's particularly egregious. But our culture is nothing now, for the most part, other than, here's who I don't like. Meanwhile, you know what China's culture is? We're expanding into the South China Sea. We're building military bases on the atolls. We're building we're building artificial islands to hold weapons. And you know what's really scary? Donald Trump ordered what's called an elephant walk. Well, I believe it was Trump. It was Trump administration, where we sent bombers and fighters to Guam. And we have them go along the runway to show how powerful we are. And did you know that we retreated? We retreated our forces from Guam when they were supposed to be doing that elephant walk to show how powerful we are. We had to retreat. You know why? Because China's military capabilities could have wiped out the entire fleet before they could get off the ground. Talk about a sign of weakness for the United States. Now what do we get? Wokeness in the military. The chief diversity officer to make sure that everybody is being treated properly. Gender neutral testing. And now all of a sudden they're like, we got to get rid of that because the women aren't passing. Got to have equal outcomes. Women can't get promoted if they can't pass the physical exam. Therefore, we got to change the physical exam so they can pass more. That's what we're worried about in this country. Bill Maher said it, and it is an excellent quote. We are a silly, silly people. China, they're as serious as a prison fight. That's what he said.
I think we really need a second coming of Christ because Elon's not getting it done. If Elon Musk can engineer our exposure to Mars and build
I am not
technology
going to Mars.
It can. I know it can preserve our species. He's the engineer that can help us preserve our species.
Going to Mars is going to hell.
But it's not enough. Like he can't. If
Bro.
people don't rally around Elon, we need Jesus. Like we
Listen,
need. We need like
hold on.
God back in.
Stop
All right,
these associations.
Jack.
Yes, sir.
Mars is not hell. What do you think the colonists, the early pilgrims and colonists thought about crash landing? I'm being a bit I'm exaggerating. What do you think they thought about getting on a boat for 3 months with a 1 in 5 chance of dying to land on a shore where there's no food, no water, no shelter, nothing?
First of all, they believed that there would be food and they believed that there would be water because they knew they were going to be on Earth. First of all. And they knew how to hunt, and where they were living already, they were already fending off the land. I am not going to Mars. There's nothing you can say to convince me to go to Mars.
I don't want you to go to Mars. But guess what? So you're saying the people who left Europe to come to the New World had the ability to farm and hunt?
Yeah, dude.
So wouldn't the people going to Mars have the ability to use the technology sent there beforehand to produce food and water and shelter?
I suppose if there's water and food and sunlight and air temperatures.
There's technology.
Comparing Mars to the New World in the 1500s is insane.
It's not insane.
It's insane.
The people who would be going to Mars are going to have technological advancements on their side.
Is there oxygen there?
Yeah,
there will be, yes.
It's in the water under the surface.
Okay.
It's in the ice.
Turn Mars into Earth.
You got to melt the ice.
And then I will go.
There's no magnetosphere.
I think they
can nuke the
poles.
Maybe. Space sounds terrible.
Right. You don't understand. The people who
I
are
don't
getting...
understand.
Yeah, these big wooden ships, the technological advancements that allowed them to actually make it across the Atlantic, thousands of miles.
Yes.
These were very brave people.
No doubt.
Who didn't know what they were going to encounter, and there wasn't going to be food or shelter. In fact, Thanksgiving, they almost died because they had nothing to eat, and they were saved, right? So what I'm saying is, it is, substantially harder to be a pioneer to another planet.
The alternative,
I don't think we need to go to Mars.
The alternative hypothesis around Thanksgiving is like, look at us show off this abundance of food, by the way.
Before we go to Mars, we're going to be sending supplies and technology so that the people who finally arrive will be able to build large eco-domes with food and supplies that will last them for years with consistent amounts of supplies coming in.
Okay,
I understand a lot of people are scared of this because it's a one-way trip for the most part, and you may die on a red planet. I'm not saying
it better be green by the time I get there.
It's not ever going to be green.
Yeah, it could be.
I thought that's what you were just telling me, that it was going to be green.
You can seed bomb it.
There's no magnetosphere.
Whatever, Prometheus.
Yeah,
but
you can't
seed bomb the
maintain
ice.
water on the planet because they can't maintain an
I think
atmosphere.
there is. It's just a light one.
There's no way to maintain an atmosphere. It's dissipating.
Are you
okay?
trying to talk me into it or out of it, bro?
I'm trying to explain to you
Yeah, Mars needs
that,
a
we
There's
have
no
a-
atmosphere.
that we used to have people on this planet who are willing to sacrifice in the name of reaching new heights, of challenging themselves and finding freedom. And now we
Amen to that.
have a bunch of people who, instead of saying, I'm going to move to the middle of nowhere and build my own building, do what I have to do, they're saying, I want the government to regulate all of the jobs.
I'm not religious at all, but
I'm
I
with
think
you
we
on
need
that, but not on
Christ. I mean, I think that we need this belief in, I don't know if it's God or what, but like this
Yes.
unified belief in the universe structure, that Jesus was one of the guys that was like, he tapped into it.
the
Bro,
basis of spirituality is to get outside of yourself. Whether it's a belief in God, an afterlife, community service, helping other people, doing charity work, get out of yourself. Our culture today is designed around being in yourself, wallowing in yourself, and presenting yourself as the biggest victim that there is in order to get to the top of the victim standings. That's the problem with our culture today.
Bro, people just need to go play Frisbee. We're talking about a lack of self, not a lack of self. It's nothing but the self. We're talking about a lack of purpose, meaning, community, friends, goals. Go outside. Bring a Frisbee with you to the park and say, you want to play Frisbee? You want to just throw a Frisbee around, maybe hang out with some people?
It's actually really fun.
And they don't
Throwing
do
a
it.
ball back and forth.
But people need to go outside and actually do something. Instead, people are recoiling. They're retreating. They're hiding. Now, I think I'll tell you what I think one of the biggest problems we've got as a culture. Certainly, China doesn't have it. There are people in China. They're calling what China's doing neo-colonialism, because the people in China are leaving. They're taking what money they have. They're moving to other countries. They're emigrating. And now we are seeing large Chinese communities emerging in many other countries. It's neo-colonialism. It's not happening because the Chinese government is ordering people, the Chinese Communist Party is ordering people to go and take over or anything like that. No. It's just people who are in a very crowded country trying to find a better life, just like we saw with Europe hundreds of years ago. But now there's planes, there's trains, there's boats, and many of these people have the resources. They find their way to another country, set up communities, and they grow and they work. And I'll tell you this, the American dream is alive and well. There's just too many people in this country, too egotistical to actually work towards it. When I worked for American Eagle Airlines, it's American Airlines' regional airline, there was a group that referred to themselves as the Filipino Mafia. No joke, that's what they called themselves. And it was a large group of Filipino immigrants who were working for the airport, working for the airline. And they all basically worked 16-hour days every day. There was one guy, he was like in his 50s. They forced him to take a 2-week vacation, a 2-week paid vacation. And he was freaking out and complaining, saying, I refuse, you can't make me do it. And they said, actually, we legally are required to make you take a 2-week vacation. He didn't want to do it because a 1-week vacation is only 40 hours paid when he worked 80 hours a week. And you know why? Because he came to this country, he worked 80 hours a week, and every penny went into making his children's lives better. This is a guy that was in the Philippines and said, I'm going to move to America and I am going to work my skin to the bone, no matter what it takes for that American dream. And his dream was to work for $10 an hour every single day because he knew it would make his children's lives better. Where's that at? Where are the people today that are saying, I will do anything I can? A lot of immigrants who come to this country absolutely believe that, and I've watched it. You look at the people who come from China to the United States. What do? They cram their families into small apartments that are cheap. They work themselves to the bone. They make money, and they give their children a better life. Now we have a lot of people in this country, a lot of progressives, mind you. Yeah, obviously I'm biased in that regard, who are just demanding the government give to them. Meanwhile, they're the ones who are claiming they're the party of immigrants, and it's like, well, why don't you actually take some advice from them and work hard to succeed? That's why I look at the Mars thing. Yeah, I get it. Mars is difficult. Mars is scary. There are a lot of people who want to go to Mars. I don't know if we need to go to Mars. It's not necessarily, I think, a solution to our problem. I think maybe a space station is probably better. And then maybe finding, a long-term vessel of some sort. I don't know how we do it. Our technology is not there yet. A Martian colony can be fantastic for the development of new technologies that make everyone's lives better. And the people who ultimately decide to go there are going to be going on a very dangerous journey where they will probably die. The likelihood of death might be like 1 in 5, like it was for those who went from Europe to the New World. Granted, we have new technology, and we'll have a lot of fail-safe. So maybe it'll actually be a bit less, but boy, will it be lonely. But these are the people who are saying, hey, man, I'm down to do it. Now, while we got all these people signing up for Elon Musk's Mars trip, there was that Mars One project, what it was called, and thousands of people like, I want to go to Mars, I want to go to Mars, and none of them were healthy enough to actually do it. Where are the people? You live in New York City, you live in Minneapolis, and you're like, man, this is terrible. Antifa's taken over the government. They're getting funding now. They're shooting people not nonstop. We're all depressed. Bro, why don't you get up, go outside, start planting some flowers, start planting some corn? Why don't you, you know what I've been looking at for a long time? It's like moving out to the middle of nowhere on purpose to expand and to build something. Because when I see something that doesn't work, you know what I do? I don't go, this is why I hated working for other companies. You go to the boss and you're like, hey, I see this problem. And they say, too bad. I don't care. I can't do that. I can't sit there and look at a problem that won't be solved. So I'll say, okay, I'm going to leave and then I'm going to do it on my own. Because if you don't know how to run this system, I'll figure it out for myself. Where are those people? Where are the modern pioneers who are like, I'm going to move to the middle of nowhere, start a company and revive this dying town? Instead, they're in their dying towns complaining to the government to do more to protect their jobs. It's both the left and the right.
I think they exist, but they're drowned out in a sea of noise, especially online, when everyone has their own journal.
Anybody online who believes that they can do it is doing it. Online is the land of the I can'ts. What I have found interesting is that our country used to be a country of I can. I can sail across the Atlantic and start a new life. I can explore the West Coast, go to Oregon, go to Seattle, or Washington State. I can do that.
You mean I can walk there?
I can walk.
And if you
there.
couldn't,
to the West
you didn't
Coast.
have access to a newspaper to tell everyone how you couldn't do it. You just didn't have
You just
access.
didn't do
Now
it.
you got Twitter for
Right,
free
and now
for
you're like,
$30 a month.
But the problem is that the American spirit, the American dream, if there is actually one American dream, is I can.
Yeah.
All these other folks right now that we're talking about, these are the I can'ts.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.